versus YFN, Atlanta Secret Gang War, is literally the heart of this, at the heart of this this RICO case, where, I mean, this is precisely what this is precisely where this is coming from, like where this case is why is Tom watching academics when he said this? Bad baby got mad titties for a 15-year-old. No, dude, no way. Did he actually say that? He was hacked? I forgot about this, dude. I think I remember seeing this somewhere, but I don't know. What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I did. I did react on stream. Someone just said FBI. Oh, why is pedophilia that funny to you, Haas? Dude, this is an insane thing to say. What do you want me to do? Be like, wow, that's fucked up, and then move on and be like, oh, like, what do you want me to repeat? Literally the most obvious talking points, which is straight up like, you know, that this is unacceptable. Also, I like to separate the art from the artist. Okay, that's why I can still watch DJ Academics. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, how can Chatter say you don't know rap when you drop this bang it? Stop. Yeah. In all seriousness, leftist chat is the only fucking place where you can look at something that is like objectively an insane and therefore relatively funny thing, and have people seriously be like, why are you laughing at this? Well, this is unacceptable. Like, I'm sorry. I've never laughed a day in my life, and therefore I don't understand it. When I say, why are you laughing at this? I mean, literally, why are you? How do you laugh? Please explain this to me.
Day capital city. There's countless rappers to come out of the A, achieving legend status era after era. Back in the day, we had the likes of Ludacris and Lil Jon turning up the city with their shout and crunk-based rap bangers. As the game developed, we saw the likes of newer school trap rappers like Gucci Mane, OJ the Jude Man, and Waka Flocka, who went from trapping on Atlanta corners to their trap music booming out of the trunk of every passing car in Atlanta. T.I., Young Jeezy, Shorty Low, The Migos, Outkast, 2 Chainz, 21 Savage. There's so many Atlanta rap legends that the city might as well be a goat farm. But it's not just in the vocal booth where the legends of Atlanta emerged, because if you know rap or drill music very well, then you'll know that often behind the rap hits are gangs and hitters. And Atlanta itself has had one of the most illustrious histories when it comes to gangs running the city. BMF, or the Black Mafia family, were a notorious ring of drug traffickers who were running the city back in the noughties, taking their dope operation to heights never believed possible in the city, to the point where they were even getting billboards to advertise their criminal enterprise / record label. Now, today's Atlanta story isn't about BMF or the big time dope operations that have come through Atlanta, but that does provide the backdrop to a number of smaller outfits that would spawn some.
Like, look, I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. But like, the difference between that and like literally every other like mega corporation now is that the mega corporations were run by white people who were able to do it, I guess, do the violence in a justifiable capacity hundreds of years ago. So then they were able to, like, you know, they had time to develop and also turn themselves into legal enterprises. That's precisely what that is. When you watch someone who's a drug dealer fucking set up shop and like create a legitimate business and a legitimate operation, that's precisely what that is. You're watching someone straight up try to basically fucking turn legal in a short period of time in a way that like these opportunities were not given to them. This was not an opportunity given to these people that the 400 year head start that all these other motherfuckers had. Okay, straight up, straight the fuck up. Whether it be selling liquor throughout the abolition, period, whether it be any number of different things. You know what I mean? Like, so remember
the biggest
that.
names in Atlanta rap today. Because on the opposite end of the spectrum,
Thug had plenty of chance to go legal. Yeah, and I think he did.
Flashy, big money throwing lifestyle of the BMF, with the young G's coming up in the most difficult streets of Atlanta, fighting for survival and simply trying to make it out alive. And a lot of young men have come up through the trenches of Atlanta, eventually managing to make something of themselves, escaping the streets through a legitimate career in the music industry, with some even being lucky enough to become chart-topping megastars and getting far away from the dangerous streets they came from. But the problem is, when you make out
I'm sorry, it's really hard to hear about the gangbangers and rap stars at Atlanta's underground music scene from a man who sounds like Richard Ayoade. No, I think that's like part of what makes this so interesting is the juxtaposition of this nerd describing it with his like British accent. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what makes it like magic. Like it just makes it like automatically kind of funny. Where this dude, I mean, but also from what I understand, he's like surprisingly leave Richard Ayoade alone. I don't know who that is, for the record. I don't know, but all I'm saying is like he's surprisingly thorough from what I understand. But it does make it funny when he's like, young G's. Very nice that young G's coming from the cut, throwing doobies up. We're able to kick it back and bick it back and be boo on their own time, but also on prime time. Yeah, my man is my man's about to have some spotted dick right after this, dude.
out of the streets and onto the Billboard charts, you gotta try and stay there. Today, we're gonna be telling the story of two rappers, both coming out of the slums of two different parts of Atlanta's Zone 3, with both rappers getting an opportunity to get out of the streets, going clear and making millions of dollars legitimately through the music industry. But unfortunately, by the end of this story, you'll see that one side would remain a little too close to the streets, and sadly getting caught up in a jam at the very height of his career. This is truly a story of struggle, potential, and opportunity, and the sad truth that sometimes you can work your entire life for an opportunity that can be lost in a second when your past life comes back to haunt you. This is the story of the long and bloody feud between Young Thug's YSL crew and YFN Lucci's YFN crew. A story which has been kept pretty secret for a number of years, but through weeks of meticulous research, pouring through lyrics, internet forums, and news reports, so today I'm going to unpack and unravel one of Atlanta's most iconic and complicated beefs once and for all. But before we get to that, a quick word from our sponsor.
Iconic.
Let me tell you about Space.
It's iconic. That's right. All right, let's get started then. Cholio, bruv.
Young Thug is truly one of...
We're watching a very long and comprehensive story about these two rival, I guess technically gangs, YSL and YFN, and literally the reason why Young Thug is currently in jail for a RICO charge. So we're learning the background of this, okay? But what you're learning is that at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break, and if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free. That's right. I mean, it's unique, it's interesting, I like it, I'm gonna watch it. None of you need to, okay? But I like it. It's very cringe when chat fucking demonstrates how incredibly Caucasian it is when you're like, all right, I don't give a fuck about this. Like, go back to white people's business, please. Like, I just literally don't care. That's what you're saying. You don't care. You don't give a shit. You don't want to understand, like, the background of it. Don't fucking turn around and be like, oh, this is a snitch-ass video or anything like that. Shut the fuck up. I want to watch it. It's interesting.
The most unique.
It also, especially with my commentary, will give you a little bit more of a deeper analysis on, like, the material conditions and how they fucking factor into the lives of people and why they continue with or why they get involved in gangs, especially in underprivileged and underserved communities where there is no sense of community or there is no other way to offer some kind of like mutual aid, okay? Or provide job opportunities because the system has undermined them at every fucking step. So this is how, this is one way to make it out. Particular. So shut the fuck up and eat this ad. If you don't subscribe, you will eat it. And then, strap up for the ride.
and talented rappers of the last 10 years. Endlessly creative, his
But these rappers are multimillionaires. They can't claim poverty as a reason, or am I wrong? Yeah, rappers famously are born as multimillionaires to multimillionaire families. That was a really good take from you. And definitely not like literally fucking living in a trap house. You're so good.
His enormous catalogue is packed wall to wall with bangers.
This
Coming
chat
from
is the
slums
whitest
of
chat on the
Atlanta,
planet,
making
I
some
swear
of
to
the
God.
greasiest trap music imaginable. Over the course of a decade-long career, Young Thug ascended from the gutter, going clear and becoming a full-blown pop star. #1 hits with Camila Cabello, Travis Scott, and Drake have all cemented him as one of the most reliable hit-making guest features over the past few years, putting him well on his way to his personal goal of having 10 #1s.
This year I want 10 #1 singles.
If you don't freestyle and you actually work on the singles and record great choruses and develop your songs, yes.
However, behind the iconic hitmaker is a harsh upbringing in some of the meanest streets of Atlanta. In fact, when Sway asked Young Thug where he was from, he had an interesting answer.
Where did you come from? Like, what is your background? Like,
Man.
okay, what's the
Man,
man, you got,
streets.
hey Thug, you gotta, you know, well, you
Man,
do
we
that.
came from the streets. I'm
Okay.
talking like goddamn.
Yes, Thug says that he is truly from the streets, having been shot at and being the shooter.
I don't got shot, you know, everything that happened, it don't been both ways. Robbed, killed, you got shot, stole, you know, everything. All those people.
And sure enough, here Thug is, in the trenches before the fame, toting straps, wiping his nose, and teaching infants how to throw up the blood sign.
Right now in the trenches, keep pistols. Like you bitches up. You know all day now. Wipe your nose.
Okay, this is kind of Fed behavior. It is a little bit.
Nigga, no. Wipe yeah. Fine, nigga. Big B. Big B. I know this shit. Little baby roller.
So, Thug really did come up in these streets. But what streets specifically? Well, Thug himself originally hails from the Jonesboro South projects, which were actually demolished in 2008. Young Thug described the slum-like project where he comes from in a Fader interview as nothing but roaches and rats. In fact, Thug has even referred to the area where he grew up as Little Haiti or just Haiti due to its crumbling resemblance to the developing nation of Haiti, with Thug even making a track called Haiti Slang and actually naming one of his own daughters Haiti. But even more significant in his music is nearby Cleveland Avenue, which intersects with Jonesboro Road, and thanks to Thug, over the years has become one of the most famous streets in Atlanta trap music. So according to Thug, Jonesboro Road and the surrounding areas are so rough they resemble an undeveloped economy. And with all that in mind, it's no surprise that Cleveland Avenue has been a gang stronghold for several decades. Sometimes referred to as Bleveland Avenue due to its long-running association with the Blood Gang, who famously replaced the letter C with B, you know, because they hate Crips so much. And Young Thug has apparently been associated with the Bleveland
Dude, he literally did the Fed thing, which I was making fun of. Okay.
Avenue Bloods from way back. Hell,
I mean,
if
I guess
anything,
this is like broad appeal. This is broad appeal. He's like, he is going through all of the details and parsing through it piece by piece for, you know, as broad as an audience as possible that did not know that that's how things go.
it looks like Young Thug really boned up on his blood homework, because he's known to throw up so many blood hand signs in quick succession that it might as well be sign language.
Now they don't get the shit check. She got rabies.
No, that's just sign language. You're wrong. It's just, he's just doing sign language, actually. That's fucked up. He's just saying, like, have a nice day. He's doing jutsu. He's just a big, this is kind of fucked up. He's just a big fan of Naruto, and he's just doing shadow clone jutsu. What the fuck? You know, that's actually inappropriate that you think these are gang signs.
Now, the specific crew of Bleveland Avenue Bloods, who run the block that Thug comes from, is a crew by the name of Raised on Cleveland, abbreviated to ROC, or the Rock Crew. Sometimes it's restylized as RO5, once again replacing the C because they're Bloods, with other alternative acronyms for ROC being offered by Thug in an early Fader interview, including Rich Off Crime or Ready on Command. Basically, these are some serious Atlanta goons who are not to be played with. In fact, a 2011 bus on the Raised on Cleveland gang saw for the first time part of their operation exposed for the whole world to see, with US Marshals and an Atlanta police gang unit conducting a major sting operation on the gangbangers in Cleveland Avenue and the surrounding areas. This operation took 8 alleged members off of the streets, along with the seizure of 2 cars, $10,000 in cash, 4 guns, and drugs apparently worth 50 racks. Now, it's not quite a BMF level operation, but it's certainly proof that the criminal underworld of Cleveland Avenue is definitely active when it comes to trapping. And this is the environment that Young Thug and his team came up around. In fact, old videos of the Rock Crew chilling on their block around 2009 2009 still circulate on YouTube today, showing young Thug running through the streets of Atlanta, surrounded by his homies back when he used to go by the name Lil Jeff, showing off his unusually fashionable hood drip, and clowning his homeboys for secretly photographing his unusual